This is episode 6 of Stand Out and Grow. Giddy up. We are all in a very competitive space, so we have to do things and put things in place for our company that helps us stand out. What makes you different from your competitors? What unique benefits do you bring to the table? Tune into this episode so you can learn about what a USP is, unique selling proposition, and how it can help you stand out and grow your business today. I'm Kat Ramirez, your host of Stand Out and Grow. I want to help your business stand out, survive, succeed, and grow. Building your business is really hard, and knowing what marketing and advertising tools you need to help you become successful is extremely confusing. After 30 years of working with thousands of businesses, I am here to help you make good business decisions. I want to help you understand the programs that are available to you so that you can stand out, survive, succeed, and grow. So let's get started. Hi, this is Kat Ramirez, CEO of Advertise. Today I am talking to you about unique selling proposition, otherwise known as your USP. And forgive me if I somehow in this segment revert back to UPS, because sometimes I do that, but it's USP, unique selling proposition. So this is a really good thing to have as part of your business. And it's really great to identify what your USP is. If you're starting a business, this is a great time to think about it and to understand what it is and how to create your unique selling proposition. If you're already in business and you don't have one, it doesn't matter. You can still create your unique selling proposition. And this is what's going to set you apart. So there actually is a definition, and I want to give you a little history of how the unique selling proposition came about. This was back in the early 1940s. Two gentlemen, the term was developed by television advertising pioneer Rosser Reeves of Ted Bates and Company, and Theodore Levitt, a professor at Harvard Business School. Both of them suggested that in order for a business to stand out, they had to differentiate, sorry, that's a really hard word for me, what it was that was unique about their individual company or brand in order to strategically and tactically set that company apart to get people to engage with them. So this is where the unique selling proposition came about. It was so far back in the 1940s. And so this term is still very true for today. And you will notice, and I'm going to give you examples of how personal brands in our marketplace use their unique selling proposition to really set themselves apart. And they use it as a way in order for people and consumers and whoever else to identify with these companies and brands and products or services, because a UPS can actually be represent many things. It can represent your brand, it can represent a company, it can represent something unique that you do, it can represent a unique quality that you have. So there's so many ways to identify and have a memorable, unique selling proposition. It's just identifying what it is and putting it out there and using it on everything that you do so that you start branding yourself with this unique sales proposition or selling proposition, however you want to say it. There's several different ways to say the USP. Yay, I said it right. Okay. In order to be remembered in a crowded marketplace, because let's all just agree that in today's business world, it is extremely competitive. I don't care what industry you're in, there is lots of competition. And if your business has a specific trait that it can hang its hat on and it's worth being memorable, then this is part of your unique selling proposition. And you should identify it and you should use it, and it should be a part of your brand, your company, your product, your service, whatever it is that you represent, okay? So everybody has competitors. So the question is, what makes you different from your competitors, and why? Why are you different from your competitors? And we can go through a drill of some things for you to think about in order for you to understand and know. So first, let me clarify that, you being different, it's not about being the best. Because I know I hear a lot of companies that say, hey, Kat, my USP, I almost said it there. My USP is we are the best at doing what we do. So I sit here and I think about it and I look at them and I say, okay, how do you know they're not saying they're the best? That's an opinion. Like, who validates that you're the best? That's a judgment call. So you saying you're the best is not a unique selling proposition. So just keep that in mind, okay? I also have companies that say they're award winning. Okay. And so you really need to put yourself in the customer's shoes. What's in it for them? What is it that you have, the benefit that you have that's going to benefit them, that's really going to relate to them and gravitate them to doing something with your business, okay? So keep that in mind and always keep, their perspective in mind and put yourself in their shoes, okay? I do have some companies that have told me that their unique selling proposition is they have the most revenue. Okay, I have a lot of problems with that, because when a company is touting and spouting everywhere that they have the most revenue, or they have more billing than anyone else and so forth and so on, you're just bragging. There's no benefit to me. It just says that you have a lot of business and you have a big ego and you're really proud of it, and you might be a little narcissistic or something. I don't know, but you know what I mean. So saying you have the most revenue is not really going to benefit me per se. So keep that in mind if that's your thing and that's what you're saying, because you might want to change that. It just doesn't spin very well. The other thing that you don't want to make the mistake of saying is you don't want to compare yourself to something and say you're better than something. That really creates a negative environment, and it's not healthy, and it just doesn't work today. I mean, in the old days, the bashing and saying, one was better than the other or what have you, maybe it worked then, but today, you don't need to go in that direction, and you don't need to say that you're better than something. Instead of that, why don't you, and let's say for an instant, because I did do a workshop and I had a lady come up to me and that was her unique selling proposition, is she told me that her food truck was better than restaurants' food. And I looked at her and I'm like, do you want to say that? Because, it just alludes a really negative connotation there. And so I said, let's dig a little deeper. Let's look at your model. Let's look at some of the things that you have, And so we talked about it. And, I said, what are some of the things you do? Tell me some of the best-selling things that you have. And she said, well, we do make fresh tacos. Like, the meat is fresh that day. She goes to the butcher every day. The produce that she uses, the lettuce is fresh that day. The tomatoes are fresh. Nothing is kept overnight. She buys fresh food every day for her tacos. So if you were to go to her food truck and get a taco, you are hands down going to get a fresh homemade taco that day. So I was like, okay, awesome. Let's use that as your unique selling proposition. Let's use that because you can hang your hat on that and you don't need to say anything negative about anyone else or, your competitors or anything. So really pinpointing your unique selling proposition requires you to do a little bit of soul searching and to be a little creative, and to really brainstorm and pull out the Post-it notes and, work with your team on it, because there should be buy-in from the people that are within your organization. This should not be like a solo thing. If you have a team in place, you guys should probably get a couple of beers and have some Post-it notes and just think about it and do some brainstorming, because it should be a team effort. And, how fun would that be, to come up with some hot keywords and, put these Post-it notes all over the place. And then, eventually it drills down to your unique selling proposition, and then, everyone has buy-in and they're so proud of it because they all came to the conclusion together as a team. And I'd come to that party, you can invite me. I'm happy to help out. Okay. I do have some examples of unique selling proposition because I do know that when I meet with business owners and I ask them, especially in workshops, I say, hey, give me an example of your unique selling proposition. Tell me what it is you're saying and what are you telling people? And, some of the responses I get are like people's mission statement. It's not your mission statement. Let me just tell you that. Your mission statement is your mission statement. Your unique selling proposition is a benefit that you provide that sets you apart from your competition. So keep that in mind. It is something that helps you stand out and identifies how different you are from your competition so that you can hang your hat on and you can be so proud of this. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about creating and understanding or redefining your unique selling proposition, your USP. So FedEx, for example, okay, their unique selling proposition is when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight, right? In that one line exactly what they're trying to do. You know what you're going to get from FedEx, right? How powerful is that? How very cool and how awesome. M&M, I love this. So I don't know if you guys like M&Ms. I don't eat candy much anymore because it goes right to the hips. But, the milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hands, right? How I love that one because you're like, ooh, that means that you just eat it up so fast that it doesn't melt in your hands. It just goes right into your tummy. It's really quick. So De Beers is about diamonds, and so they have a very cool and unique selling proposition. And so, if you guys know of De Beers, their tagline is "A diamond is forever," and a diamond is forever. Marriage could be temporary. An engagement could be temporary. A friendship. I don't know, back in the day, you used to get the friendship rings from your boyfriend. I don't know if people still do that, but if it had a diamond, that diamond's forever. So, for a female, it gives you kind of like an illusion that your marriage or this white wedding might be forever, but in reality, the diamond is forever. And so you're selling that ideal, that concept, that illusion, right? How cool is that? When they came up with their unique selling proposition. So I love diamonds. If anybody has a few hanging around, extra diamonds, and you want to get rid of them, I'll take them. I love diamonds. I think diamonds are forever too. They're beautiful. I don't have enough of them. Maybe I should think about that for a while. Okay. Domino's Pizza. That's, everyone probably knows this one. You get a fresh hot pizza delivered to your door in 30 minutes or less, right? Or it's free. And I know this created some chaos for them because drivers were kind of having wrecks and stuff because they were being held bent to this 30 minutes or less it's free, and people were like, hey, I timed you weren't here for 30 minutes. And so that really caused a little chaos. So sometimes your unique selling proposition might need to change, or you really need to think it. And again, this is where being creative and thinking it through, because that 30 minutes or less or it's free, probably initially was a great idea, but then when you got traffic and you got circumstances you can't control. So when you have circumstances you can't control, you can't really have this 30 minutes or less or it's free, because you're going to be backed in a corner, right? And nobody wants to be backed in a corner, and nobody wants to give away a bunch of free pizza. So I don't know if they still use that tagline. If you know that they do, if you're working at a Domino's Pizza, drop me a line, let me know, leave a comment. I would love to know if they're still using that. And then Neiman Marcus sells luxury. That's their little tagline, while McDonald's sells bargains, and McDonald's also has the red tag. Is it the red tag sell? Something like that. I know it has to do with red. I don't shop at Walmart. It's not my favorite place to go. Sorry, Walmart. I do love Target, though. Anyway, I'm not trying to plug Walmart or Target. This is just back to unique selling proposition. I do know, when I was younger in the Kmart days, they had the blue light special. You guys get it. I hope you're understanding where I'm going with this is you really need to create a unique selling proposition, and it could be based on a product characteristic, a price structure like the Walmart and Kmart, placement strategy, either location or distribution, or it can just be a promotional strategy, that you come up with. But what you want to do is, again, you want to think it through, and you want to be creative, and you've really got, to really put some soul-searching thought into it so that it does set you apart and it doesn't hurt you. You don't want it to hurt you. You don't want it to compromise your brand, your product, your service, or whatever it is that it's representing. So just keep that in mind, because you do want to keep, your value and your brand still up and respected, and where it's still identifiable by your future customers, your consumers, your current customers. You don't want to confuse them. That's what you don't want to do. Okay, so let me give you some examples of a product unique selling proposition. So this one is a classic one, and I don't know if anybody's familiar with this. The Hanes, the hosiery, the Hanes L-legs hosiery, they were packaged in an egg-shaped packaging. So that really stood out, because all the other hosiery were just in normal packaging that was all similar. But with Hanes, the L-egg, they were in the egg shape packaging. And I remember those because I remember seeing them on the shelf, and they did stand out, and they were different, and they were unique, and they really did have a unique selling proposition there. And, what a great way to get my eyes drawn to that as opposed to the other hosieries that look boring and the same. And that's the whole point of it, okay? That's what you want to do. It's the same thing that candy makers do when they create Peeps, and they look like Peeps and they look different than the other candy, or the Hershey Kisses, they look different than the other ones. Those are all unique selling propositions in regards to packaging. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So you really need to understand, I'm just trying to wrap this up and bring it back around for you guys, is you need to understand the benefits you bring to the table that your competitors don't. So that is a unique selling proposition. So when you can understand the benefits that you bring to the table that your competitors don't, then come up with a line that identifies that and says that, okay? If you don't know what makes you different, then ask your current customers. Ask, why did they shop you? They could feed into your unique selling proposition. They love you, and especially the customers that come back to you over and over and over and over. Those are the best ones to ask because they can help you identify that unique selling proposition. And maybe they just say, let's say it's customer service. Maybe they say, hey, you know what? You guys are just great. You make me feel like I'm family. You make me feel real. That's going to be the extension of your unique selling proposition. You're going to spin off of that. Let's see. If you still can't figure out this, no worries. It's not like it's rocket science or you have to have one. It's not going to make or break your business. It just helps. It helps in regards to helping you stand out and helping you really show that what makes you different, okay? So think about your business. And again, you have to be creative. You've got to do some soul searching, and you got to put yourself in the buyer's shoes. What are the benefits for me that you're selling to that potential client? That's what you have to identify, because it can't be self-serving. Do not make a unique selling proposition that's self-serving. And the self-serving ones are some examples I gave you. We're the best, blah, blah, blah. We have all these awards, blah, 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 blah. We make the most revenue, blah, 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 blah. Those are all self-serving. Don't do that, please. Nobody can relate to that. That's not going to help your business. It's not going to help me identify with your business. You really need to have something that the person that you're prospecting identifies with. Oh, so I completely forgot. I can share my unique selling proposition, and I have a couple of them. So one of the lines I say to people all the time, and it's in all of our marketing and branding, is we have affordable advertising options. You get what I do. You get it in just that one couple of words there. The other thing we say is we help businesses with little to no advertising budgets so that they can stand out, survive, succeed, and grow with affordable advertising options. That's a little bit of a longer version of what the first line I just said. So you can have a bunch of different variations of your unique selling proposition. Just know that. And also know you're not married to it. If you come up with something and you figure out later it doesn't work, you can change it. It's not a big deal. You're not married to it. The only thing that you're married to is if you printed it on everything that you have. So just keep that in mind. But you can test different things, and you can have a short version and a long version. So there are no rules in having your unique selling proposition. The thing that you want to make sure that happens is it sets you apart from your competitors. It's a benefit that you provide. Those are the golden rules right there. And remember, I'm going to say it again. It sets you apart from your competitor, and it is a benefit that you provide to your future customers. That way they know and understand you and who you are. So don't get discouraged. It's not about having a unique product at all. Not saying that you should have unique product. I'm not saying you should be the Facebook of the world or the Uber of the world, or have a unique service. I'm not at all. It's about making your product stand out. And so even in a market filled with lots of competitors, is so important for you to do everything that you can so that you do stand out. And having a unique selling proposition is one of the things that you can do to help your business stand out. So again, to recap, creating your unique selling proposition. What is your unique selling proposition? Your unique selling proposition is or your USP, and it is what makes you different. It is the benefits that you bring to the table, and it is a great way for you to leverage yourself and market yourself so that you stand out, so that you can grow, so that you can have a competitive advantage against your competition. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this. I would love to have your feedback. This is a great conversation to have, and we could go on and on and on. But I think this is enough to get you started. And, give me some feedback. Let me know if this has helped you, and let me know what your unique selling proposition is. I would love to hear it. And I would, if you need help with one, reach out to me. I am so approachable. And I certainly do consults. So if you want to consult, book some time on my calendar. If you go to the website, that's with the letter N, grow.com. There is a link to my calendar. Book a time with me. I'm happy to help you out. I'm happy to sit down and brainstorm, whatever the case may be. If you're really, really challenged with your unique selling proposition. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that this helps you knock it out of the park and become a rock star. As I have told you guys before, I know you got this and you can do it. So have a great night, and I will talk to you soon.
If you have listened to the Stand Out and Grow podcast recently, you have heard that we just launched a marketing consultant certification program. This 12-month program will give you the tools, knowledge, and confidence you need to run your own marketing consultation business to generate your passive income today. We are excited to offer a 40% discount to the first 25 participants. So go reserve your spot today at www.catherineramirez.net. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Stand Out and Grow. Check out all the notes and links at www.standoutandgrow.com. I am so thankful to you for helping this show continue to grow. I want to keep producing content that you want to hear, so please leave me some feedback. I look forward to bringing you more resources and information to help your business stand out and grow. Please follow us on social media and make sure you follow this podcast so you can learn more about helping your business stand out, survive, succeed, and grow. Until next time, you got this.